accommodative, to be understanding, and really to be able to have a deeper understanding of what each and every party deems important for themselves in participating in the government of provincial unity. We respect their views, and we respect what they feel and how they feel they will best want to contribute in the government of provincial unity. I think it's sad and very unfair that one out of all the parties represented in the legislature wants to stall this process to the extent that it has. The African National Congress, and I'm sure I speak on behalf of the Premier, wants to make sure that the province is stable. We have a government and a legislature that is in place and working as soon as possible. And I can also say that the Premier is really disappointed that for a second time now he's not able to establish government so that we can proceed with the business of running government in the province. We constantly communicate with all parties, and it's causing anxiety even to other parties represented in the legislature. I think it's unfair, very unfortunate, but definitely by tomorrow there will be a government in Gauteng, and as soon as possible thereafter, the committees of the legislature will also be established. Thanks.
Thank you. We will take up questions from members of the media. I would ask that you identify your name and your media house and ask your question. I've not conducted a press conference in a very long time. In fact, I've never conducted. I've always been. So I will start here with Linda, and then I'll go at the back, number 2, and then you are number 3, and you are number 4, or you are number 5. So I'm giving you your numbers. You are number 5. Let's start here, Linda.
Okay, Linda Missy from.
You can use this. Linda, use this.
That's fine. Residents of Gauteng are obviously worried about what is happening. Are you able to bring us into confidence about what exactly the issues are? What is the DA demanding that you as the ANC are not agreeing to? Thank you.
Number 2.
The Premier will announce this deadlock with the Democratic Alliance that the ANC will go through and ensure that they will announce.
Number 3.
Good afternoon, Alpha Ramushwana from Eyewitness News. If I heard correctly, Mr. Maile, you mentioned that the Premier was going to announce ANC only and was not going to announce DA. It seems to me the ANC is failing to come to peace with the fact that you got 30%. And you have to share the portfolios or the seats with the parties in the government of provincial unity. What exactly happened? What is it that the Democratic Alliance is saying they should be under that setting? Thank you.
Good evening. My name is Shannon Merrick from Kasi Broadcasting Africa. The DA has been a tough negotiator with the ANC National, and they got what they want. When we look at the list, what their demands was, they got 99% of what they want. So I don't think what they're doing in Gauteng is different. That's their tactics. So are you guaranteeing us tomorrow that Gauteng will announce and will not give in to DA's demands? And then the other thing with Gauteng residents, the HODs are here. The NASIS fund was supposed to end on the 31st. There's young people that's unemployed that are worried. They don't know what's going to happen tomorrow and so on. What can you say to those young people that are very concerned to say if the government is not formed in Gauteng, they might be unemployed? Thank you.
Yeah, it's number 1.
Thank you very much, Noka. How are you?
I'm very well.
I'm well. Look, my name is Luna from the MEC Guardian. Nopala, 2 things from you. You're one of the negotiators there. what exactly does the DA want? And does the negotiations nationally not fall into provincial as well? Because what I understand is that the negotiations nationally were the ones holding up this one provincially. And secondly, maybe I'll be mischievous again, but look, does this mean that the DA, maybe some of its demands, that it wants to govern some of the municipalities, and have you talked about maybe removing the EFF to work with the DA? Because it's kind of unclear what is it that they really want if the hold up as national. Thank you very much.
I think that's the last one. Eh? No, thank you very much. I want to start with this question that talks to the ANC not accepting that we didn't get 50 plus percentage. Unless you are not necessarily, or like you are not following what we've been saying here, the concept of government of provincial unit is an ANC concept, because we recognize the fact that we did not win the elections. But the reality is that we are at least above all the other parties. So we're inviting everybody to come. And that's what we've been saying here. We've invited Democratic Alliance, we've invited PA, we've invited Action SA, we've invited Nkatha Freedom, we've invited everybody who's in the legislature, and we have spoken to them. So there's no ANC that can formulate government alone. Doesn't exist, at least not in the province. And we agree and we accept that. But what we don't accept is us having a concept of saying there's a coalition of ANC and DA in Gauteng. There's nothing like that. It's a coalition that is bringing everybody, rather. It's a government of provincial unit that must bring everybody. And that's where we are in this province. We're not going to negotiate in the media. We're not going to sit here and give details of negotiations. I know other parties attempted to do that from time to time. Had we concluded, if the leadership would have allowed us to do what we came here to do, or rather gave us a green light, and really not say, comrades, let's renegotiate and see if we can find each other with the Democratic Alliance, of course, from their request as well. We're going to announce cabinet with other political parties, including in the legislature. So we're very much clear in that. The ANC is very worried about a number of things, not only NASISPA. We have a very proactive premier who wants to go and deliver for the people, but he can't do it alone. He must do it with an executive that is willing to go to the people. From where we are, we believe that tomorrow we will be able to make that announcement. We got an assurance from our leadership that from tomorrow this really must proceed, because it is really delaying the people of Gauteng. It can't be fair, it's not right. The people of Gauteng have been waiting for their government. So as the Provincial Executive Committee of the ANC, we really support our premier, but we also, from time to time, because we are a structure that is serving the NEC, and we must always listen to its guidance. So if there must be an engagement tomorrow, there will be an engagement. The reality is that, even if you go to other countries, coalitions are never easy. Unfortunately, this is the economic hub of this country. It will be contested. Parties will do their level best to be part of it, and so forth and so on. There will be a number of tricks that will come. So we expect that. Other countries, they took a year to formulate government and so forth. I mean, the president would have explained. Gauteng is like a country. That's why it's highly contested. From where we are, we believe that we are very fair. We are accepting what needs to happen, but we are not going to allow anybody to bully us, because the reality is that DA voted with EFF in Northern Cape. in the middle of these GNU negotiations. It's a fact. When we have a view that is contrary to DA can act as if they are a victim. They act as if they are a victim, as if they are being left outside. When they are not in the Northern Cape, they are not there. But in Gauteng, they must act as if they are victims when we say, no, but let's bring other parties. Also allow yourself, let's move like this. Let's work together. If we don't agree, but we hope that there will be a solution tomorrow, we will be able to move forward. But from where we are really, our Premier is ready to announce, and the ANC, and these other parties who are ready to hit the ground running. I wonder if I've left.
No. Please, good man was Alpha. I did not say the Premier was going to announce the ANC only. Please don't say that, ne? Please don't say it, because
it's being creative.
I know you guys, you can say it. What I'm saying, the Premier was not going to announce the DA in his cabinet. The Premier was going to announce a provincial of government unity led by the ANC, constituted by the ANC and other parties represented in the legislature, because the ANC in Gauteng has sealed and concluded a deal with other parties in the legislature. I think that should be clear. However, the DA decided through their provincial leader Msimang to go in public and make allegations that ANC is unreasonable and that they were not going to come, they were going to boycott. They were not boycotting anything, they were not invited. They were not going to be here anyway. So that's what we wanted to make clear, that in Gauteng, the ANC does not want a coalition with the DA. It will not have a coalition with the DA. But in Gauteng, the ANC will work with all the parties, including the DA. That should be made clear, because the DA is behaving as if we have a coalition. It's us and them by that framework, nothing else. So, and our position is clear, as the provincial secretary is saying, we are forming a provincial government of unity. As the ANC, we are forming the government, we are leading the government, we are inviting other parties. We've made this clear to the DA that we are inviting them, but they are behaving as if it's us and them. And then if we don't agree, then things fall apart. No, that's why the Premier, the list is got in his pocket now. It doesn't have the DA. It has other parties. Let's take others. We'll take the
municipalities,
And this, sorry, the issue of municipalities, are you then confirming that your relationship with the EFF and I think MK also voted with you? Is that you are not going to be attracting for municipalities? Are you confirming that is the EFF there?
Okay, thanks. You can pass the mic there. Steve,
we have not spoken about municipalities here, so I don't know what you're talking about. Unplugging of this and that. We're not there.
Yeah.
We're not there.
Let's take that question.
Heidi Jokas from the NCA. What assurance can you give that tomorrow you'll be able to announce? This is the second time you cancelled your announcement. You keep speaking about the fact that this is not between the ANC and the DA. Does this mean that you, and I know TK said you don't want to negotiate in public, but the Premier did tell ENCA that a number of parties have formed part of this government of provincial unity. Does that mean that you are going to be working with the EFF and MK if you're planning to exclude the DA? Also, the DA has told ENCA that you only offered them 2 positions. Could you confirm if that's true? Thanks.
I think that the
Isn't it?
yeah. Sure.